place for you. Don't need to complicate it. It's best to keep it basic. Open the book, the word is self-approved. He's Alpha and Omega, the answer since the early ages. What you should do is learn about the greatest. Just so you know, our door is always open. Let's study together instead of debating. Share our differences, let love heal all that's broken.
All right, we're going to start that over one more time. We're glad to have you guys with us here. It's a joy to be with you, and I hope that you have been edified in all things done and spoken. Well, we got two things to talk about today, and one of them is, in fact, is man stronger, or as we say, weaker than woman? And that's the issue. Is it what Yahweh has said? What was it supposed to be, and what does it actually mean? So let's look at it. Let's talk what the Torah has to say. This is, of course, yours truly, Apostle V.W. Jones, on the Proceeding Word. We're here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and we hope that you would join us as often as we are available, and you can make it on your lunch breaks. And some of you have said how you've enjoyed being able to do that on your lunch breaks, but we also know that it can be difficult. We hope that it's continuing to be edifying to you. So if you're coming in with us on Clubhouse, if you're coming in with us on Facebook or YouTube, please, if you're on Facebook, give us a little bit of chatter in that thread. We need it desperately. We appreciate you for it. Clubhouse, YouTube, do the same thing. Hit the subscribe button, like it, and share it. If you should desire to do so, the subject matter I think is really important. Is she really weaker than he? Let's talk Torah. Let's talk Bible. Let's see what Yahweh's word has to say about it. Remember, again, this is the Proceeding Word, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right here, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's take an opportunity to have a word of prayer, shall we? Father, we come before you in the mighty and the matchless name of Yeshua HaMashiach, who is holy and thou. And we're asking you now to be with us, in us, and through us, for your name, for your sake, and for your praise. There is literally none like you. You alone are holy. You alone are righteous. You alone are our Elohim. And we bow our head in reverence of you. We come before you and ask you to forgive us of any and all possible sins. We repent for murmuring, complaining, covetousness. We repent for judgmentalism. We repent for anger and wrath. We repent for unforgiveness. Anything that we can know by your instructions that is a transgression for your word and your will in our lives, we come before you now to say, help us. Help us to do better with it. And we wash in the blood of Yeshua that cleanses us from all wrong, that we might be like him, honoring you. So thank you for that grace, that access, as we take the opportunity to literally embark upon it. Grace us now with the hearing, to hear what your spirit, not what commentary, not what church says, but what your spirit says unto your humans that you made. Give me the wisdom to speak, give me the words to share, that you again have the preeminence. I decrease all things, VW, that you, Adonai, would increase, and your people would hear what thus saith you, Yahweh our Elohim. You are he who gave us Yeshua HaMashiach. He lived, he died, he rose again. He sits in your right hand right now, making intercession for us. And we do look for his soon coming and soon appearance. He will be our king, for he is our Mashiach. In the name of Yeshua HaMashiach, we all pray and say, Amen. All right, guys, look, if you're on Clubhouse, I got my board up because I want to show you some things with some graphics. Some of you like the graphics that we have when we do them handheld. They are stick figures, but I make them work the best I know how, and only Elohim could have given me the grace to do this. So I want y'all to tune in with me while we do this thing. Now, remember, we're also going to be coming out of the Bible. So the Bible is very important to us in this process, so you understand exactly what's being said. Many people have said, as we've lived in this society, that, you know, Elohim has given man dominion and the woman is weaker than the man and the man's supposed to rule over the woman. Now, I want to take us through the writ to find out what exactly was said, how it actually looks, what Torah really meant when he gave us those instructions for the first human that he had on the planet. All right. So you might want to grab your notepad, get some pencils. Some of you are buying a lot of paper. Don't worry about buying paper. Use your apparatus. You know, it has more memory probably, and you'll be less of a fire hazard in your homes if you would take and just make some notes on your medical or on your mechanical apparatus. Is that all right? So let's get into this because it's very important. Did Yahweh make masculinity to be stronger and demeaning or dominating over woman? Let's look at this from the very inception of humanity. And we're going to begin a very interesting place. So we'll start at 1 Peter chapter 3. Let's go there very quickly. because this comes up a lot. I was with a counseling couple for a while here. Well, I'm always with couples. This is Marriage Monday. I'm doing a lot of counseling. So today I had something for y'all, but I was thinking, let me flip it up and put some stuff into people's hearing for what we really need to learn about Elohim. 1 Peter chapter 3. I'm going to go to verse number 7. Okay. And I want everybody to really get this, to look at it for what it's worth. I can't do verse 7 without doing verse 1. All right. So 1 Peter 3:1, Peter, not Paul, is talking to the married couples, and he's explaining to them something that would be mirroring and or in alignment with what Paul spoke, which they both speaking from a Torah perspective. But Peter says, likewise, you wives, be in subjection. I'm sorry, let me put it on the board for you. Let me put it on the board for you. Peter says, likewise, you wives, be in subjection to your own husbands, that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of their wives, while they behold your chaste conversations, which would be coupled with fear, reverence. Verse number 3, whose adorning, let it not be with the outward adorning of plaiting the hair and the wearing of gold or putting on of apparel, but let it be with the hidden man of the heart, in that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and a quiet spirit, which is in the sight of Elohim with great price. For after this manner, in old time, the holy women of old, also who trusted in Elohim, adorned themselves, being in subjection to their own husbands, even as Sarai obeyed Abraham, calling him master, whose daughters you are, for as long as you do well and are not afraid with any amazement. Likewise, you husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor. Verse 7, likewise, you husbands, dwell with your wives according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered. All right. Now, he goes on with verse 8, I think is very, very important. He says also, 3 down, finally, be ye all of one mind, having compassion one of another, love as brethren, be pitiful, be courteous, not rendering evil for evil, railing for railing, contrariwise blessing, but contrary than that, bless each others. Know that you are thereunto called, that you, husband and wife, should inherit a blessing. All right. For he that will love life and see good days, let him refrain his tongue from evil, his lips that they speak no guile. All right, so verse number 7, let's go back up to it. It says, likewise, you husbands, dwell with your wives according to knowledge, giving honor to that wife as if she were the weaker vessel, as if she were the weaker vessel. Now, we find here that there is a statement that says, and you must read it, as if she were, or as unto the weaker vessel. So many people think that that means that she is, womb man is the weaker vessel. And I want to make sure you guys see in a reverse engineer how Elohim really put things together. And is that what he meant when he said she, or is that the appropriate interpretation, saying that she is the weaker vessel? So let's go find out. So microphones to everybody in our audience, for those of you who are here, and if you got questions, I want to hear them. Make sure, moderators, you help me out with this. And those of you who are trying to teach relationship and things of that nature, I want you to learn this so you can always help people to do better in the kingdom and have a greater relationship with the Father and their spouse. All right. So did Elohim create, and you see my board, those of you who are with me on the board, he created them male and female. Now on the board, I had this color coded. All right. And I'm going to lead in with this before I go to the actual writ. So I got my little stick figure up here. I got him painted in real good. All right. So he created them. He is Elohim, created them. Them is Adam. and he made them male and female. So male is in blue, female is in red, just for the sake of some differentiation on your visuals so you guys can see this better. And I promise you it's going to edify your life and soul. So let's now, since we left First Peter chapter 3, verse 7, stating that likewise husbands dwell with your wife according to knowledge, understand her, know who she is, know what triggers her, know what strength she has, know what weakness she has. Give honor unto your wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as this is important, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that Mr. Husbandman, Miss Wife Man, your blessings be not hindered, your prayers be not hindered. All right. So that is a benefit that many of you need to pay as close attention to as you can, because if you are married and you are contending with your spouse and you're praying against your spouse that Yahweh would do this to them or do that to them or make them understand you're not getting your prayers answered. Yes, right there. Yep. So you have to give honor to the weaker vessel as being heirs together. So both of you must know that you are heirs together of life, that your prayers, when you pray in your home for the buildup of your life and your family, that your prayers, husband and wife, be not hindered. All right. And then he goes on to let this be known, because if you read in verse number 9, he says, don't render evil for evil, railing for railings. Watch this. Knowing that you are thereunto in that matrimonial covenant called, that you should inherit a blessing. Oh my, that hits a little bit different, doesn't it? All right. So I want y'all to talk to me. Those of you who are married, I know some of you are going to have your mouths open, and you don't let flies fly in, but also talk to me. Don't leave me out here hanging out by myself today. So if you're on Facebook or YouTube, go ahead and give us some thread action in our chats. We love to see what you got to say and what you got to do. All right. So remember, you that are married, you are literally called into that marriage that you should inherit a blessing. Man, I wish I would have knew that long before now. I'm going to read it one more time so you can get it. Likewise, you husbands, of course, verse 1 was likewise you wives. So now we get to the part of the husbands. Likewise, you husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto them as unto the wife, as unto a weaker vessel, and as being heirs together the grace of life, that your prayers don't be hindered. Verse 9, knowing that you are called into this marriage, you are thereunto called, that you should inherit a blessing. Somebody say, my marriage is designed to inherit blessing.
My marriage is designed to inherit blessing.
Okay. Let's move now quickly into why we talk about what we have on the board today. He created them male and female. So we know that we're talking about marriage, masculinity and femininity, male and female. So let's go to Genesis chapter number 5. I want to really start there because it gets really fun for me. Genesis chapter 5. Look at this. I hope y'all sharing this with people. Clubhouse, I hope you're sharing and pinging in our people. It'll be fun for them to learn. I'm not going to be long with you. This will be very short. But Bereshit chapter 5, Genesis chapter 5, verse 1. Let's look at this. Bam. There you go. Bible's up on the screen so y'all can see it like I'm seeing it. Genesis chapter 5, verse number 1 says, this is the book of the generations of Adam. This is the book of the generations of Adam. This is the book of the generations of Adam. This is the book of the generation of Adam. Do y'all hear that?
Yes, sir.
All right, so let me ask a question to you all who are listening to this. What does that mean? When you think about generations, right? What do you think about when you think about generations? Like, would it be your mom, my mom, my dad? Those are the generations of my life, right? Your moms, your dads, all of them and what have you. Is that how you think about generations?
It's all spread. Yes.
I heard a masculine voice. Let me hear that voice. Who was that speaking?
That was Nicholas. I said it's offspring.
Brother Nicholas says it would make you're talking about offsprings. Okay, that's cool, Brother Nicholas. Anybody else? Rogers, go. Lineage. Which is what he's talking about. Offspring, lineage, where you came from, who your dad was, who your granddad was, who your granddad's granddad was, who your grandmom's was, who their grandparents were, their parents were. So you're talking about lineage, you're talking about, as brother said, offsprings. And if you reverse engineer, you reverse recycle, go backwards, you understand that you came from someplace, they came from someplace, you came from someplace as well. But I want y'all to pay attention to this. And I know it's sort of kind of unfair to do this while y'all at work, because now you're going to have to stop and look at this. But I'm going to show it to you. Look on the screen and look at what it says. Verse number 1. This is the book of the generations of Adam. Why is that interesting? This is the Toledo, right? This is this is the book of the generations of Adam. In the day that Elohim created man. That means humanity. So the word generations here is the word Toledo, which means a descent, history, sometimes birth, but another word called generations. It comes from the word 3205, which means where something was beget. Okay? And so when we look at this, the word generation has multiple meanings, and we were wrong to relegate it to one, because I want to ask this question and I want someone to answer the question, okay? I don't care where you are, Facebook, YouTube, wherever it is. I want you to watch this. You're watching live, Draper. So I want you to catch this, all right? Pay attention to this. I want y'all to get this. Y'all want to share this. You guys want to share this, okay? Now listen. Question to the group. Get ready to come off mic. Say your name. If I have lineage and I have a generation, that means I have a mother and a father who had a mother and a father who had a mother and a father at this point in life, right? So when Abraham was on the earth, he had a mom and a dad, right? When Cain, Abel, they had a mom and a dad, right? Noah, mom and a dad. Enoch, mom and a dad. David, mom and a dad, mom and dad, mom and dad, grandma, granddad, granddad. They got moms and dads. So everybody's got a generational tracking of who they are. This word generation here is just a tad bit different, because all the people I just mentioned were born. Adam was made full man. He was not a baby. He was made man. So this word generations would then imply a lesser considered definition, meaning when you generate something, almost synonymous with creating something. So here are the generations of humanity. Do y'all see this in the passage? So let me ask a question. Was Adam born or was Adam made? Give me a name. Give me a name. Give me a name. Give me a name. Wanda, go.
Linda. He was made.
All right. Adam was made, right? So Linda, let me ask you. So Adam wasn't born, right?
Correct.
So Adam doesn't have what you and I typically have as parenthood, right?
Right.
No, right. It's exactly right, Linda. He does not. So is this talking about his generation and his descent from the birthing of humanity? Absolutely not, because he's dealing with being made as humanity. Humanity begins with Adam. Again, verse 5. Pay attention, everybody. Verse 1, Genesis 5. Look at the screen. Watch. Look at the board. Look at your Bible on the screen. This is the book of the generations of Adam. Now, let me read down so I can break it back for you. In the day that Elohim created, in the day that Elohim birthed, in the day that Elohim born, y'all gonna stop me. It's okay if y'all want to stop me. In the day that Elohim labored in the delivery room, in the day, did Adam have a mommy?
No.
Y'all see where I'm going with this? You see why I'm laboring over this? Did Adam have a mommy?
No, he did not. No.
The best you got is Mother Earth, right? Did Adam have a daddy? The best you got is Yahweh, right? But typically, under the way you and I see having a generational line and lineage, is that we got moms and dads who had moms and dads, and we are a product, as Brother Nicholas said, we are offshoots, offsprings of that. Adam doesn't have our issue. Adam was made out of mud, full grown. So now, we're talking about, is man made stronger than woman? So if man was made, I want everybody to say man, Adam, say Adam was made. Adam was made.
Adam was made.
So Adam was made. Now watch what the Bible says. Look at what the Torah says. Verse 1 again. This is the book of the generations of Adam. In the day Elohim created humanity. In the likeness of Elohim made he humanity. Verse 2, male and female created he humanity. Created he them, and he baruched them. He blessed them, and he called their name Adam in the day when they were made. So here's the question for y'all real quick before I get off of this, and I want to make sure y'all pay attention. Y'all make sure you pay attention. So did Elohim make Ishai and Adam the same day?
Yes.
It was a trick question, and I did it on purpose. No. He did, however, make masculinity and femininity, male and female. Created he them, and then he called their name Adam. You've heard me tell you many times that the first man, the first human called Adam, was both male and female in one body. So if you can see the board, I've given you the red and the blue on purpose. So male and female were in one pulchritude. Do you all understand that? In the day. And we know this because it was the issue that was something that happened in the day that Elohim made humanity. Y'all got it? I'm not going to give y'all trick questions no more. Yes, I will. I'm not going to lie. I will. But I want y'all to engage because it helps us learn, right? No? Okay.
Yeah.
So, she said, no, listen, verse number, look at the passage here, Genesis 5, and I'm going to give it to you real quick. Genesis 5, verse 2. I'll do verse 1 again. In this is the book of the generations of Adam. Now, why does it say generations? Because the word generate, who knows what it means when you generate something?
Linda.
Go, Linda.
You make it.
You make it. You make it. You make it. This is important for why you got to read this verse right. This is the book of the makings of the human Adam. Y'all gonna make me do it. Y'all gonna make me do it. Don't make me do it. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Whoa!
So this is the book of the makings of Adam. Notice I'm saying makings. Notice the word is generations. So in this word generations, in this original Hebrew, in the word that is known as H435, Toledad, you have generation. You have what is known as the generation, which comes from the word 3205, which is also the word that deals with the word yolad, right? Which means to begat. Okay. Now, it means to make. Okay. So now when you look at this word, this is the book of the generations of Adam, because look at the board, 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 look at the board. I'm giving y'all. When Elohim made man, look at the screen. This person that I'm making as a stick figure is the human Adam. Adam is the human that was made to till the ground. This is Adam. Now, Adam is both male and female. So inside of Adam, the pulchritude is both masculinity and femininity. Now, this does not give any credence to any arguments, to any group that would like to try and say, I was made female in a male body, or I was made male in a female body. Elohim don't make those kind of mistakes. I'm gonna leave that right there. How you feel is what you feel. There is no scientific proof that a female is living in a male's body or a male is living in a female body. Elohim just don't make those types of mistakes. I'm not going to take that back in any way, shape, or form. So don't use this that, yes, Elohim made Adam both male and female, and that's why we have these, what we would like to say, this confusion about gender. No, there's no confusion about gender. All right. So now watch this very clearly. He created them male and female. Adam is what he called them. So is male and female a plural statement, y'all? These are questions. I'm really hoping y'all can answer. If not, I'll just keep moving. Maybe I should just do that. So male and female are plural statements, okay? But when he says he named them Adam, it is a singular statement, which goes to show he put masculinity and femininity into the human, the man he hewn out of the earth. Inside of it is a male factor, and inside of that is a female factor. That's the hewn man that he made, right? So we know that that's the case. Masculine and feminine, plural. Adam, singular. They're one, right? We know that because Elohim in Genesis chapter 2 and chapters 1 took out of the man he made, the human he made, and we've made the mistake, and we've had this typical functionality of calling human for short man. But yet human in the short, in the abbreviated version, so human, look on the board. We call Adam human, right? So human was what Elohim made in Genesis 5. Human. So we have abbreviated human and we call it man. Yet for the male entity, we have also now in a different way repurposed male to mean man. So we're confusing our idea that the human being used as man and the male being used as man are the same thing, and they are not. Got it? So the human, when you see this in Genesis, when Elohim made man, he made human, male and female, created he them, he called their name Adam. So once that piece is understood, you now can walk very clearly into this next passage of why we need to know if he made man stronger and or, as we say, the woman weaker than the man. So are you okay with that, guys? Is that helping so far?
Yes. Yes, amen.
All right. Now let's keep it moving. I hope you guys are sharing this because it's going to get better. Is the female weaker than the male? I could end right here, case closed. Because Elohim has done everything in balance, right? Humanity typifies, literally typifies, signifies, and is a literal example of the earth that we live on. And the earth that we live on is in fact a sphere. It literally has some of the same attributes we have. The human man is approximately 75, and this is really approximation, 75% water and 25% dirt. So is the earth in approximation. Okay. Now, we are just like the rock we come off of. We are, as humans, a chip off the old block, Mother Earth. So the human looks much like its actual place of residence, Mother Earth. Now, when Elohim made Earth, what he did was extremely beautiful to me, and I want y'all to get it. So when he made the earth and realm, he made it good and evil. So good is as strong in its genre as evil is as strong in its genre. The two are equal. Would you agree? In their strength, because there's good and then there's evil. Would you agree?
Yes.
So then you have in this earthen realm, you also have in the earthen realm, in the earthen sphere, you also have night and day. You have light and darkness. They are both very effective in their realms. So light is as strong dealing with light as dark is as strong dealing with dark. Would you agree?
Yes.
Talk to me. So east is just as fire, contrary to what the West Coast thinks. They think they're the best coast, but the east is just as strong in its element as the west is in its element. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Watch yourself, West Coast. Watch yourself, West Coast. Watch yourself. I know y'all think it rhymes. The West Coast is the best coast, but it's just a rhyme. And I do mean a nursery rhyme. But the East is just as bad and strong as the West, right? The North is just as bad and strong as the South, right?
All right.
Come on, need y'all to talk to me. Yes.
Yes.
So watch this. This gets
Yes,
deep.
sir.
Short people in their element are just as bad as tall people in their element.
Mm.
Oh, that hit different, don't it? Yeah. So everything about Elohim, when he makes the earth, he does the same thing in the human. Somebody say the word balance.
Balance. Balance.
Starting to make sense. Can I cut through the pathway now? So everything about Elohim is about balance. So when he made the earth is balanced. There's up, there's down, there's in, there's out, there's north, there's south, there's east, there's west, there's hot, there's cold, there's wet, there's dry. They all have their own power. They all have the same strength in their reason for why they're made. I want y'all to say it again. Somebody say balance.
Balance. Balance.
So when Elohim makes humanity a chip, he also made it imbalanced, didn't he?
Yes.
He gave you male, and he gave you female in the first man called Adam. Now, I can end this case right here, but I need to help the theologians who like to fight with this. So if he made everything in balance and everything as equally as strong in its own purpose, in its reason for existence, and he couples them together for the purpose of balance, then you can't have one side weaker than the other side and call that balance, can you? Y'all not gonna talk to me? Can't do it. So male and female, he wrapped in one body, and that gave it balance.
Wow.
So the man is not stronger than the woman, and the woman is not weaker than the man. I could end here, but I'm gonna act like I didn't conclude and take you into further understanding as to why this is. Would y'all like to go further, or y'all just want me to stop so y'all can finish y'all chicken sandwich for lunch?
Continue, please.
Continue? Good. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, because I was going to anyway. So here's the deal. We're on the preceding word. I hope you're enjoying yourself. This is coming from the word. So watch this in the text. Watch this in the text. Watch this in the text. In this, the Bible declares, Genesis chapter 5, verse 1. Look at it. This is the book of generations. Why did I harp on this issue of generations? Okay, look at the screen again. Look at the screen again. Generations. So he generated femininity, he generated masculinity, and then he put them both in human pulchritude. These are the generations of Adam. Yahweh, I try so hard. So the generating of the male and the generating of the feminine all were placed into Adam as a balanced entity and construct for existence on the planet to do what he needed done on the planet. So male and female inside of this entity created balance, so they had to be equal. So female could not have been made to be weaker than her counterpart. I could stop there, but you begged I continue. All right, you didn't beg. I asked you if I could, and I sort of kind of baited y'all to say, yes, teach us more, sir. So I'll confess my pettiness. All right? So, can we keep going? So, he created them male and female, right? Look at verse number 5, verse number 1, chapter number 5. That wasn't funny to nobody but me? Okay, let's go. Genesis 5:1, and these are the books of the generations of Adam. I'm done with that. Y'all didn't like that. I'm gonna move on. That'll come another day. And how we know this is time sensitive is because the next sentence in verse 1 says he did that in the day Elohim created man. Well, what day did Elohim create man, everybody? Day 6, right? All right, I'll just, I'll act like y'all want to answer. I'll just go ahead and do it. I'll role play. I'll just role play. So I'm serious, not being funny. I'm serious. I'll just role play for time. So in the day Elohim created man. So when did Elohim make man? Oh, he made man in day 6. We have proof of that because of Genesis chapter 1, right? Now, verse number 5, chapter 5, verse 1 again. In the day Elohim created man, in the likeness of Elohim, he made the human. Verse 2, he made the human male and female. That's how he made them. That's how he created them. That's how he generated them. And he then baruched them. We know that because of Genesis chapter 1, 2. He called their name. He called their plural generations. He called their name Adam in the day when he created them. Okay. So I just want to make sure we understand that Elohim created them, right? Now, one of the purest parts of this is getting now back into Genesis chapter 3. So I want to recap very quickly in 1 Peter chapter 3. 1 Peter chapter 3. 1 Peter chapter 3, verse number 7. Very important. 1 Peter 3, 7. I'm going there right now. I'm going to leave it on the board for y'all. 1 Peter 3, 7. Husbands likewise dwell with your wives according to knowledge. giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel. So this implies that he is saying as unto the weaker vessel. So if he says as unto the weaker vessel, he is not saying that she's the weaker vessel. He is telling Adam he's telling man that's how you must treat her, as if she's weaker than you. That's the way I designed it. Somebody say that's Elohim's plan.
That's Elohim's plan.
So let's get this. Hey, this is about to get deeper. I'm just giving you the layout. When we talk about when we break it off into practicality, I hope y'all invite somebody. It's gonna get really good. So when he says in 1 Peter 3:7, when he uses the word as the phrase as unto weaker, right? He's really saying as if she were. Got it? So when he uses the phrase in 1 Peter 3:7, when he says as unto the weaker vessel, he's actually stating as if she were weaker. Does that hit different for some of y'all? Yes, Apostle, that hits different for us. Yes, sir, Apostle, that hits different for us. I told you I'm a role play. Y'all, I got the role play. I got it down pat. Y'all just make sure y'all send me some oxygen when I'm done with this program. All right? So, yes, we understand that, Apostle. Yes, we understand that, Mr. Apostle, man. Okay, so 1 Peter 3:7 says, treat her as if she were the weaker vessel, right? Now, we talked you back to Genesis chapter 5, and in Genesis chapter 5, we explained to you very clearly by the writ that when he made man, he made a male and female, created them, he made them in the likeness of him. In the day that he made them, he blessed them, he called their name Adam. In the day he created them. Because in the first day he created man, there was not both Ishai and Adam. There were not two different names. There was only one. It was Adam. Do y'all now I got to ask y'all for real on this one. Do y'all believe that? Understand that there was only one name in day 6?
Yes. Yes.
And Yahweh named the human. Do y'all agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. So I want y'all to get it because people get weird about this, because people think that Yahweh named Ishai. He did not. Adam named Ishai.
That's true.
Y'all can say wow, because I know you didn't think about it.
Wow, absolutely.
Right. So Adam named Ishai, but Yahweh named the first human. And the first human was both masculine and feminine in one pulchritude. I keep harping on it because Genesis chapter 3 is going to make a whole lot of sense now. So now let's go to Genesis chapter 3. Now, how then was the woman weaker? Like I told you, I could end this case right here, right now, that Adam was in fact, and they were both equal in power, right? Very much so. Now, I want to give you the physiology of this, if I can, in my limited ability with the knowing of the human body and its anatomy. But I do know this, which cannot be denied, that the woman is made the same time, the masculine is made the same time the feminine has been made. They both balance out the first human, so they both are strong. They're both made equal. They both have separate functions. That's why the coloring on my man up here is very important. When y'all look at Adam on the board, look at Adam on the board. Can y'all see Adam on the board? Yes, y'all can see Adam on the board. All right, good. If you don't see Adam on the board, you're missing out on a blessing. So in the blue is the masculinity, in the red is the female. So when you read Genesis chapter 2, which I'll take time to put on screen for you as well. If you read, thank you, Doreen, for letting me know you can see it. If you read Genesis chapter 2, you read the story where Elohim said he put Adam to sleep on day 7. Somebody say the 7th day.
Seventh day.
Do y'all believe that?
Yes, sir. Yes, we do.
Yahweh took Adam and put him to sleep on day 7. He woke up Adam after taking out of Adam what was in Adam. Y'all got it? So when he takes Adam to sleep, he says, after he's given Adam, the human, the responsibility for the garden, teaching him in part how to till the ground, he says it is not good for humanity to be all one. Now, you heard alone. That's what you read in translation, but what it actually meant was it was not good for man, humanity, to be all one body. So Elohim put man to sleep. Do I need to prove that to y'all? Because some of y'all going to come back at me and say I just made that up. I do not want to be charged with subjective or eisegetic. So chapter 2, Genesis chapter 2. Genesis chapter 2. Look at me real quick. I'm going to put this on the screen. Y'all pay attention because I'll come back to the board real quick. I hope y'all sharing this. Look at Genesis chapter 2. It says, verse 2, on the seventh day, Elohim ended his work, which he had made. He rested on the seventh day from all of his work. Elohim blessed the seventh day, sanctified it, because in that day he rested. These are the generations of the heavens and the earth when they were created. Again, generating the spaces. In the day that Elohim made the earth and the heavens, every plant. Y'all ready? Sorry, can y'all hear me again?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
All right, good. So watch what happens here. Look at what happens here. Verse number 5. Every plant of the field before it was in the earth, every herb of the field before it grew, for Yahweh our Elohim had not caused it to rain upon the earth. And verse 5. Look, y'all. There was not a human to till the ground. That word man is the word H120. That's the word Adam, a human being made from the ruddy of the earth, an individual or the species. So this is not about masculinity. This word man is not in this sense about masculinity. It is about humanity, the creation, the species. Somebody say wow, because I don't want to sit here and do it by myself. It seems sort of kind of.
That's a wow. Wow.
Okay. So he says in verse 5, let me reread it because of the shortcut we took. Every plant of the field before it was in the earth, every herb of the field before it grew. For Yahweh our Elohim had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was no human to till the ground. But there went up a mist from the earth and watered the whole face of the ground. Verse 7, pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. Verse 7, and Yahweh formed man, humanity, out of the dust of the ground. He did not form masculinity out of the dust of the ground. He did not form femininity out of the dust of the ground. Y'all getting this now? Elohim formed humanity out of the dust of the ground, and then Elohim breathed, meaning put his spirit into its nostrils, and breathed from his nostrils the breath of life, and humanity became a living soul. And Elohim planted a garden eastward. There he put the human whom he had formed. And out of the ground, Yahweh our Elohim caused to grow trees that were pleasant to sight, yada, yada, yada. I got to get past verses 9 through 12 to get to the point here in verse 15. So let's go to verse, I'll pick up in 12. It's irrelevant to what we're talking about. It's just what they were over, and he's telling them stuff, and he's sharing with them stuff. This is in the seventh day. This is in the seventh day. Say it's the seventh day.
It's the seventh day. Seventh day.
This is why the seventh day is so important, and we really need to get on board with this, because this is chapter 2 is about day 7. He is breaking down to Adam everything that's in the earth. He's giving man and made man to actually till. He's talking about the rivers. He's talking about the different elements. Day 7 is when Yahweh speaks to you and I about how we are to live and what we are to do in the earth. Yes, you got to get used to hearing him, i.e. reading his words alone and not your favorite preacher's commentary or your favorite preacher's preached sermon. You need to feel like getting along with the Father and let no one other than you and your family bother you during that period of time, and you all are focused on one thing, him with one accord in one place on the day he has made. So I can rejoice, become re-strengthened, and be glad about it. That's what that's about. So look now, finishing verse number 12. And there was gold in that land. Verse 13. And the name of that river was Gihon. Verse 14. And the name of the third river was Hiddekel. He's telling them about the place. Verse 15. And Yahweh our Elohim took the human. He put the human into the Garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it. And Yahweh commanded the man. Somebody say he's giving him instructions. And Yahweh our Elohim commanded the man and said, of every tree of the garden you may freely eat. So does the man know about these trees yet? No, he's being informed. So day 7 is a day of information for the man created. Verse 17 says, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, thou may not eat of it. For in the day that you eat of it, you shall surely die. Verse 18, Elohim then said, it is not good for man to be alone. Now, at this point, we all understand that Elohim created humanity, male and female, and called humanity Adam. So everybody knows that Adam is all that's being talked to here, right? There are not two pulchritudes. There's only one. Ishai is not on the scene yet, right? But the femininity is existent in the actual human, just like the masculinity is existent in the human. Make sense? Watch verse 18. This is why woman is not weaker than man. Verse 18, Elohim said it's not good for man to be alone. I like for you guys to think about it this way. It's not good for man, humanity, to be all one. I will make humanity a help meet for humanity. Verse 19, and out of the ground he did all that he did, right? I got to do it. Verse 19 says, and out of the ground Yahweh formed every beast of the field, every fowl of the air, and brought them unto Adam. What day is he doing this in, y'all?
Day 7.
It's day 7. It's day 7, verse 19. Read it again. And out of the ground Yahweh our Elohim formed every beast of field, every fowl of air, and brought them to Adam to see what he would call them. And whatever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof. Adam gave names to all the cattle, the fowl, the air, beasts of the field. And watch this. But for Adam, there was not found a help meet, like it was for the cattle, like it was for the beasts, even like it was for the fowl of the air. All of them had physical pulchritudes that were masculine and feminine. So for Adam, there was not found that type of match in pulchritude. So, verse 21, Yahweh caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam. Adam slept. And Elohim took out of Adam, closed up the flesh thereof, and of what he took from Adam, he had taken from man and made a womb man. Now, mind you, masculinity and femininity are two words, but man and woman are two different words that's associated based on gender. But one of them still connects to the phraseology of humanity. So what it means is, verse 22, Elohim took from man, he made womb man and brought her unto the human. They're both human, right? So Adam was hewn out of the earth. Woman was taken from that piece of earth that was hewn, and that's why she is never to be his actual competition. She is to be his, in fact, not competition, but he is to be, in fact, they are to be complementary one the other. Is that making sense? Or did I leave my Bible off so y'all couldn't see it?
No, that makes sense.
Okay.
Close.
So watch this again, verse 21. Elohim caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, the human. He slept. He took the rib, closed up the flesh, the rib which Yahweh took from man. He then made a womb man, and he brought her unto the man. Adam said, this is now bone of my bone. This bone in front of me, we don't wrestle against flesh and blood. do we? But against principality and powers and rulers of darkness of this world and spiritual wickedness in high places. But he's also now realizing I'm not battling against another human being. I'm battling against something that was already in me. But now you have your own body. So look at the board. Let me help you out with this. This gets really good for me. So on the board, male and female, pay attention. On the board, male and female, blue is the outer extremity. We call that the actual brawn. All right. So masculinity is more like an antenna. So Elohim can speak from heaven. So the antenna speaks and receives in the ear gates and the eye gates of the masculine entity based on the first form of Adam. So then when man gets the instructions from Elohim in his ears and his eyes, he then digests that and it goes down his nerve endings into his core, which is where the female is. And she, in fact, begins to cause all that's connected to her. She is the core. The female, it's that feminine connects every piece together. It is the core of humanity. Now, humanity may be the eyes. Humanity may be the external appendages, but without the core, therefore, you do not have agility. You do not have real strength. Each appendage may have strength in its own, but when it comes to working for the body's benefit, they have to be correlated together, and that's what the femininity does. Do y'all get that? So she is core. Now, if you've ever worked out, you've ever done anything, you know you have no real strength if you don't have core strength. You can be blown over with the wind. You can be knocked over with a bump. You have no agility. You got something crazy with vertigo. It just don't match up. So the core is the womb man. So Yahweh has this first man as an antenna for humanity. Masculinity gets it, sends it through the body. The nerve endings connect. The nerve endings then connect to the core, and the core starts to correlate how each appendage of the body uses strength, pulls back. The core becomes, though you got a brain, the brain says what needs to be done, but the core is what makes it happen. Y'all women should be jumping up and down like, oh my God, oh my. No, never, no, y'all don't. Y'all sit down, listen. So the core doesn't work effective without the eyes and the ears receiving the word from Elohim, right? But the brawn of humanity can't get it done if the strength of the core isn't pushing the boat. So how could woman be weaker than man, masculine? How could female be weaker than male?
Not possible.
Now, I know a lot of brothers will get mad at me because we've been taught this within theology, but now let me talk about chapter 2, looking at the board. I'm almost done, guys. I promise you, we're almost done. We're almost out of here. Are y'all learning anything? Let me know, Facebook.
Yes, sir.
I need your keystrokes, Facebook, YouTube. I need your keystrokes. Listen. So now you see Adam. Look at the board. I'm about to do something with the colors. Look at the board. Look at the board. Look at the board. So chapter 2, verse number 22 states this. I'm going to give it to you and I'm going to get off of it. States this. And the rib which Yahweh our Elohim took from humanity, he made a womb man and brought her unto the man. Now is the first time you see masculinity and femininity separated. So what Elohim does, look at the board, look at the board. See the red? That's the feminine. He takes the feminine out using the sinew and the calcium deposits of the masculine. You call it rib, right? And then he takes the womb man, and guess what he does? He stretches a piece of this human pulchritude and he creates 4 companionship. She got long legs. Sorry. Let me cut her leg down. There you go. All right. Now, man no longer has the initial womb. Yahweh transfers the womb, which is a universe in its own, from the body of the masculine. Look at the board, look at the color, watch what happens. Now this human is all male. It's all masculine, got it? Now Elohim takes and makes from this pulchritude a body, and this operates much like Elohim, but it's all feminine. Now, this is taking time because I want y'all to get the effect while I do it. I could have made all pre-done, but I don't have enough technology with me right now to do this, so it sits wait for you guys to come. So now, if you notice, this pulchritude is only filled with femininity. And this femininity existed initially in the womb of the first human. That's why she's called the womb man, because she would be the procreator, not the procreator, but the incubator for reproduction, along with getting the plans of a vision done. Where does vision come into, guys? The vision comes into the earpiece and the antenna of the man. Now, the interesting thing is that this woman now has her own ears and her own eyes. But Yahweh has them tethered to his initial process. What do you mean? Are y'all learning? So now you see how Elohim separated masculinity from femininity and femininity from masculinity. The womb man is now what she is. Her name is now called, we say Ishai. We're going to call her that because that's important. All right. Very important. I want y'all to get that. And I know Ish means husband, but you're going to find out what that means later on because many people are messing that up when they try to sell this and teach this in their theological sessions. So, Adam and now Ishai, this is a marriage, and he says it was not good for man, humanity, to be all one. So he pulled the feminine out of that element of humanity, separated it from masculinity, gave femininity its own pulchritude, let masculinity walk in its pulchritude, just like he did the beasts of the field, just like he did the birds of the air, and all the cattle of the field. Now, watch this. This is where it gets good. So let's go now to Genesis chapter 3. So I want you to realize where we got this male-dominant, masculine, this male chauvinism spirit from that ought not ever to be. I want y'all to get this. Look now, Genesis chapter number 3. So don't leave me because I'm going to come back to the board. And we're almost done. So in Bereshit chapter 3, you guys never heard about the way Genesis chapter 3 was actually rendered because of the way that y'all thought Paul wrote in Ephesians chapter number 4, what he felt and y'all felt he was saying. So in Ephesians chapter number 4, verse 21, there was some Ephesians 5:21, pardon me. Y'all heard the phrase 5:22, Ephesians 5:22 says, "Wives, submit yourselves to your own husbands as unto Yahweh, unto Adonai. For the husband is head of the wife, even as Messiah is head of the church, and he is the savior of the body. Therefore, the church is subject to Messiah, so let the wives be subject to their own husbands." That's what y'all heard. That's what y'all was pushed. That's what was shoved down your throat and mine. We all ate that forcibly, ignorantly. Wasn't necessarily a bad meal, but it wasn't the right meal. Y'all okay with that?
Yes, sir.
Are these drawings helping y'all?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
If only one person, I'm happy. So now let's go back to Genesis chapter number 3. Here is where we got twisted. Ready? Watch. Genesis chapter 3, verse number 1. Watch this closely. Verse number, y'all notice through with the serpent failing and causing the conversation. So Elohim now is about to send judgment, and he does it. Verse 14 picks up that part. And Yahweh our Elohim said to the serpent, because you've done this thing, you serpent are cursed above all cattle. That means that the serpent was an upright, erect entity, whether he walked on 4 feet, 4 legs, or 2 legs. He was an upright, erect entity before Yahweh cursed him to crawl on the ground. All right. So 14, Elohim said, you did this thing. You're cursed above all cattle, above every beast of the field. Upon your belly shall you go, and dust shall you eat all the days of your life. I will put enmity between you and the woman. I'll put hatred between you and the woman, between your seed and her seed. That's prophetic. It shall bruise your head. You shall bruise his heel. Prophetic. Then he says unto the woman, say to the woman, say to the woman, say to the woman.
To the woman. To the woman. To the woman.
Verse 16, he says, and unto the woman, he says, I will greatly multiply your sorrow and conception. Meaning that y'all wasn't supposed to have, the degree of toxicity you got in your ankles and the morning sickness and all these, contractions, the way y'all getting them, he says, I will greatly multiply your sorrow and your conception. In sorrow, in pain, shall you bring forth your children. Here it is. Watch this. And your desire shall be to your husband, and he shall rule over you. Do y'all get that?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. And it means he will govern over you, because he will bear the cause of what Yahweh would for them be done. Doesn't that line up with Adam, the masculinity being the antenna?
Makes sense.
Doesn't that line up with masculinity being the antenna?
Yes, sir.
Who Yahweh initially designed to hear, so he can send the signal to the whole body, and the body work together in proper balance of strength to get the job done. So he didn't say anything different. Oh, but we so deep. Now watch. When Elohim told woman, he shall rule over you, I want y'all to pay attention to this. When Elohim made the woman, this is so important. He made the woman after he made the first human. Y'all agree?
Yes.
Yes, Apostle, we agree. It's very true. He did make the woman after he made the first human, because he pulled the womb man out of the first human. So therefore, he made the woman's body after the first human's body. Now, typically, we're made in the image and likeness of Elohim, right? So we do things differently. So every time we make a new of one thing, we upgrade it. Don't we add more bells and whistles to it? Yes, cool.
Usually, yes.
So the first instinct we need to keep, the first thing we need to pay attention to is male and female when they were made is a spiritual thing. Once it gets into a body, it takes on a form. Now I got to get this quickly because I'm running out of power, right? So the male and female, there's no lack of strength. You need them both. They both work. It's balance. Somebody say balance. But when he puts them in the bodies, they're properly balanced in one. But when he gives them two separate bodies, he gives the woman, her hair grows faster than the man's hair and longer, don't it?
Yes.
It can grow as long, or the man's hair can grow as long, but for some reason, women's hair just naturally grows longer, faster. Agreed? Her nails,
Yes.
Yes.
they grow different. Her eyelashes, if y'all leave them alone, will do what you're paying for. Well, some of y'all it's too late, but the eyelashes, they grow nicer and longer and they flutter better. Yes, I'm having fun with it. See, her eyelashes matches the dynamic of her head. Beautiful. She also has bigger mammary glands. Men got chests, women have bigger mammary glands. Right? I'm going somewhere before you think I'm being gross. She also has, she has, her glutes are different because she's prepped for childbearing. Everybody understand that?
Yes.
Now, here's the beautiful part. She has this interesting thing that man does not have. She, in her pulchritude, has this new compartment that man doesn't have, and it's called a uterus. Y'all see the board?
Yeah.
So everything about the second made pulchritude is new and improved. So this body has a baby in that uterus and can snap back, properly taken care of, to the form it was. Man can't do what woman does. So everything off of face value about woman is more than man. The addition to the well-built man in this body, in this masculine suit, while she now has this femininity in her pulchritude. Everything about her is grander than man. Y'all better say, yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
So if off rip, she's equal to man because of balance in the first human, and then she gets a better suit than the first man, who is the stronger one?
Woman.
But we were taught, because of masculine insecurity and masculinity not staying connected to Yahweh, and she craving this man to tell her what we're doing next. And he keeps giving her his ideals rather than paying antenna to heaven. And then she does his ideals, and their union, their issue, their efforts fail because the plan wasn't Elohim's plan. She's built to get the plan of Elohim from the antenna in the earth, so she, the actual core, can help get it done. That's another reason why man should treat her as if she's weaker than him, because if he does, he'll care for it because he loves himself. He doesn't know how to love outside of him, masculinity wise, but he will, if he starts caring for her and treating her as if she's weaker, he'll be gentle with her, not a bull in a china shop, though she can handle a bull in a china shop. Should she? Yeah. Y'all know you got to put up with some, y'all gonna act like now y'all gonna be like, oh, well, Apostle, you shouldn't talk like that. Okay, now let's look at your real lives. How much stuff have you put up with? How much abuse have you taken? How much beatdown have you been through? Come on, talk to me. Don't play with me today. I ain't got time.
A lot.
Come on, lady, say, I got this. I'm built for this.
I got this. I'm built for this.
Now, the psyche of society over time tells us that the woman is to be, tendered and trophy wifed and all that. We've created that nature. That ain't the way Elohim made her. And we should, by getting the door for her, i.e., some parts of chivalry. We should be opening the door for her, say treating her like the weaker vessel.
Treating her like a
Leading her through the marketplace and making sure she's protected. Say treating her like a weaker vessel.
treating her like a weaker vessel.
Making sure you plant seed into her first before you plant seed anywhere else. Say treating her like.
Treating her like.
See, that's why the chivalry makes a little bit of sense, though it is in some misogynistic viewpoints and ways of being. It's almost as if to dampen her down. It's not. We should never be dampening her down. We are just to treat her as the valuable element that she is, because she's really the part that makes the vision we get come to fruition. And what happens is Elohim sends the signal, what he wants done in the earth, to the head, which he created as an antenna. He then shares that with her. She then gets an idea of how to produce the vision. She comes back and says, here's a plan, a projection for the vision, and let's use your muscles to get it done. I will help where you fail. So he created him male and female. The woman is not. Is the woman weaker than the man?
No.
No, she's not. And I'm a man. I'd love it to be true. So I have some kind of bragging rights. But I don't need to be dominating. I need to have dominion. I need to be, as Yahweh says, to the woman. Now watch this. This goes deeper. Watch this. This goes deeper. Yahweh tells the woman in Genesis chapter number 3, verse number 16, unto the woman, he says, I will greatly multiply your sorrow, your conception. Part B says, and your desire shall be to your husband, and your husband shall rule over you. Now watch this, watch this, watch this. Somebody say, treat her like a lady.
Treat her like a lady.
Watch. Look at the board. 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 The serpent comes through to the woman and offers her the fruit. Look at the board. Adam is supposed to be leading her. However, the subtlety and the slickness of the serpent got to her, being led by evil, is Adam should have picked up on that and stepped in front and caused the serpent to come talk to him, and she, being in his cover, would then understand the conversation they're having and know what would be done now. So what happens is Elohim tells her, because what happened here is he just reminds her. He's like, okay, I know I made you better than man. I know you're equal to man. I know you're out on your own, but here's what I want you to do. I want your the way I initially made humanity, you were supposed to be inside of him. Strong as he, the two of you together in one, working what I want done. So I want to make sure we don't forget that. So after you have the baby and all that stuff and all that's going on, and because of what's going on, I want you to let him have rule, because I'm still going to be using him as the antenna, and you won't know what to do without that antenna. Now, not that you don't have access to me, but when the two of you come together, because you're both heirs of the grace of Elohim, you're both as a union designed to have blessing. Oh, y'all forgot what we read in the New Testament? First Peter 3, verses 7 through 9. You are heirs together of the grace of life, and you must act and be together as one, so that your prayers and are not hindered. Because in this situation, you are designed to have blessing. Okay. I don't know why I thought that was exciting. I just did.
That's information. Very informative.
So when he says you are to rule over him, humanity in the church was not supposed to say the woman's supposed to walk behind him 2 steps to the left and be quiet and be submissive to whatever he say do and whatever he wants. He want food, he wants stuff on the barbecue, on the grill. He want this, he want that. She's supposed to be whenever he say and call and jump and whoo, 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 jump like an orangutan. Whoo, whoo, whoo. No, that's not submission. Submission is when this man is hearing from Elohim. She knows because she's with him when he hears from Elohim. And then she is like, yeah, I know that's Elohim. And I know you heard it. So here is what we can do to accomplish it. And then she submits those ideas that generate in her organically about vision. Because when woman hears vision, woman brings it to fruition. And then she helps man carry it through. I hope that helped today. Today's marriage Monday for me, so I got a whole bunch of marriage counseling couples to go to. So I got to get off this one to get to another session. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I went 1 hour and 21 minutes. Does anybody have a question? Okay.
Lindo, I have a question.
Real quick, what you got?
It's just a thought of something that I've always wondered about when a couple gets married and they John Trey.
You're in the matrix.
Was that a part, or is that
You're in the matrix.
in accordance to what?
You're in the matrix, Lindo.
Do I need to repeat it?
Yes, you do if you're going to do it.
Okay, my question was, I've always wondered, at the end of the marriage, the wedding vows and everything, they would always present the man and woman as Mr. and Mrs. John Trahey, not Jennifer and John. Does this correlate with what you taught us?
It can. I would say it can. I mean, it really can. You can go there with that. There is no 100% solid stamp on it. I believe it was more from the sense that the hijacking, thereby the hijacking faith, thereby the ceremonialisms that come along with that faith construct and its male dominant position. I can't separate that from it either, right? But I do believe that is it even if it's by mistake, it's organically right. Mr. and Mrs. Because that's the way that it's Mr. and Mrs. because of Genesis 3:15. Watch.
That's what I was
right. It's Mr. and Mrs. because of Genesis 3:15. And he says, listen, woman, all right, we just came through this situation. You and the serpent messed up. So what I need you to remember, woman, is even though I made you better in your body, and I know you can do good and bad all by yourself, my design when I made you, I need that to be remembered. So your husband, your desire, after you've done whatever, childbearing, built an empire, your desire is to be to your house band. He shall be the governance over your resource, because I made your resource for the purpose that I'm giving him vision. Oh, come on, y'all. That's good.
That was actually very good.
Okay. So he's not telling her and demanding her, the husband gonna rule over you. It's not rule over like that. It is, he is reigning because he has the governance, and he doesn't have the governance alone. You're hearing it as well, woman. The issue is it has to be, remember what happened in Genesis chapter 2. Elohim brought humanity, everybody say Adam. That's what he does. And so when he does this, he makes it so that humanity sees, in fact, what Elohim is saying it should be, and then he calls it what it's supposed to be. So Elohim tells humanity, this is what that is. And when humanity speaks, that thing, the Bengal, the serpent, the cow, the goat, it knows who now has dominion, because you live in a voice activated kingdom. So when you remember this, Adam didn't come up in his own head as to what a gator was, as to what a an oak tree was. No, Adam didn't come up with that. Elohim sat with him in Sabbath, gave him what it was. And when Adam would call that thing as it was given to him, that thing would now understand Adam was the person in dominion. That's a whole nother process we can talk about later on. But that's why it's important for the woman to understand. Make sure your husband is with you in Shabbat. When you and your husband are together in Shabbat, and you and him are searching and seeking for Elohim, you all will come up with the programs and the plans that one of the prophets says, write the vision on the wall so that they that see the vision may run with it. That's the beauty of a lot of what we talk about in this thing. Well, listen, guys, I got to let you go. As I told you, my batteries went dead on me. I'm working off of a secondary camera that I did not set up in the studio like I was supposed to. And so that's what we got. So I hope that this was empowering for you, men and women. And when men realize that your wife is not the weaker vessel, I promise you, you can punch her in your face if you want to. Don't go to sleep. I'm telling you what I know. You can act like she weak. Yeah. Hit my daughter and see what she do to you. So do not think that the woman is the weaker vessel. And we've been taught that all our lives. We've been sort of kind of nurturing that ideology that the woman's a weaker vessel. Treat her like she's weak. Treat her like a lady. Treat her like a lady. Right? Y'all almost start dancing, y'all. Woo-hoo-hoo. Okay, so anyway, treat her like a lady. But that means that you really just treat her like she is the weaker vessel. But she's not the weaker. She's not weaker. She can do everything you can do. I promise you. I train my daughter. She will fight a man, and I probably will put money on her. I also have other peers who I respect like a man because they can fight like a man. So don't think she is weaker mentally or physically. She ain't stupid. She ain't weaker than you. We are to honor her because Elohim gifted her out of the body so that we could finish the vision Elohim gave us. And in some beautiful way, she's also there to help remind us to get back to the Father, because the resources in her require accurate vision, because she hates wasting her time and thereby hates wasting her resources. But she knows that her function in the earth is to bring vision to fruition. So, bruh, what's your 5-year, what's your 10-year plan? Where we going? Where we having dinner? What kind of movie we doing? What kind of vacation we taking? What are we doing next month? What's going on over here? What is the Lord saying? You think she's nagging you. Y'all didn't find that? I thought that was amazing stuff, but okay. Let me shut down. It was a joy hanging out with y'all. This is the Proceeding Word. My name is Apostle V.W. Jones. It's exactly 1.5 hours, and we are going to let you guys go. I pray you've been favored. You've been blessed. May Yahweh bless you and keep you. Literally becomes my earnest prayer for you. You guys matter. Your lives are significant, and I want you to know who he is in your life. All right? We're going to get going, and we'll see you guys later on.
If you need truth, this is the place for you. Don't need to complicated. It's best to keep it basic. Open the book, the word is self-approved. He's Alpha and Omega, the answer since the early ages. What you should do is learn about the greatest. Just so you know, our door is always open. Let's study together instead of debating. Share our differences, let love heal all that's broken. If you need truth, this is the place for you. No need to complicate it, it's best to keep it basic. Open the book, the word is self-approved. He's Alpha and Omega, the answer since the early ages. What you should do is learn about the greatest. Just so you know, our door is always open. Let's study together instead of debating. Share our differences, let love heal all that's broken.